Welcome everybody to ZBrushhangout Meshed Up Live. My name is Spicer McLeroy, one-time CG channel Frank Frazetta digital sculpting champion of 2010. Certified by Ryan Kingsland himself. And we are here in the ZBho Arena, and do not get it twisted. We are here to kick some ass, and you better be too. Tonight's special guest is XMD Michael Dunnam, and the rest of the ZBho CG Warriors add Fresh Meat Brett, Karen, Kingsletter, and Raphael. Tonight's theme is Spider-Verse. You can create any character or creature based in the Spider-Verse, even reimagining that character. For our texture artists and our brush makers, do what you do and just do it well. You have 2 minutes to gather your reference starting now.
All right, so we're just reference gathering for the first 2 minutes, right?
First 2 minutes. You have 1 minute, 40 seconds.
Nope.
And if you haven't watched this movie yet, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know what to do with you. I have no clue. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great movie. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Really awesome.
Does she actually have blue shoes now, right?
What's that?
Are her Spider-Gwen's, she doesn't actually have shoes in this thing, does she?
She has ballet shoes.
Oh, really? Yeah, we're scrapping that.
No, she's barefoot. Reimagining the character.
I'm gonna put her in sandals, like grandfather sandals, two of that.
We have 1 minute left.
Damn, this is tough.
Remember, you're tougher.
We'll see.
Remember that. Bear.
40 seconds left. For all those watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, I encourage you to talk amongst yourselves. Talk to us. If you have any questions for any of the ZBho CG Warriors, put them in the chat, and we will definitely get to it.
Yeah, 100%.
Nope.
And for those that were watching us on YouTube last time, and I totally didn't even see your chat, I apologize. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for watching. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Let's rock.
You now have 1 hour and 30 minutes to create a creature, character, or asset pertaining to the Spider-Verse, starting now.
Damn, all right.
Michael.
Yep.
XMD Dunnam. I always wanted to ask you, what does XMD stand for?
Well, MD is obviously my name. And the X was because when I first started out, you know, in ZBrush, the letter is the shortcut for the brush. And there were no X brushes, so I chose it. And that's where it came from.
You know what? That's actually pretty cool.
That's
well
good.
done.
That's good.
Yeah,
So,
well done.
for those that don't know who you are, what you do, let them know where they can find you, what they can, you know, whatever you want to let them know. Open up to us. Open up to us, Mike.
Well, I've been, been creating brushes since about 2012. I was creating them before that, mostly for myself. Then I started giving them away on ZBrush Central for a while, just for free, and realized I could probably make a little bit of money off of it. So
what was your most famous brush at that time when you first started?
actually the crack brushes that I originally made.
Mm.
Had a ton of downloads. To this day, I think they still have the most, or been downloaded over 1 million times.
Nice, dude. That's badass. Congrats.
I didn't even know there was 1 million people that did art.
Right?
Oh, that was me. I kept losing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
the crack orb.
No, that's a orb.
Actually, I did get your pack, and it literally just not too long ago it hit me. I was like, XMD, I know that was the ZBrushes. That's what it was. And actually, I think you made a lot, man. It wasn't just a little bit too. You had a bunch of them.
Yeah, there was originally about 196 brushes that were free. And then people started asking me to make different things. So I just started creating brushes, and it took me a while. This was before Gumroad even existed.
mm-hmm.
I was trying to find a way of getting them out there better than just ZBrush Central. And eventually Gumroad came out, and I started putting them out there and started creating premium ones. And then the premium, my lifetime membership, I came up with that. And people could sign up, get all my free brushes, all the premium brushes, and have subscription-only brushes as well. And it's pretty much blossomed from that. You can go to xmdsource.com, and that has all my brushes, as well as the XMD Academy that Spicer is actually.
Oh, come on, guys. Stop, guys. Just stop, dude. Stop. So what is it like? Well, what is it about like brushes? Like you could have done alphas, you could have done like substance painter textures, you could have done like.
Well, honestly, when I first started doing it, nobody else was giving away brushes. There wasn't really a marketplace for it. People just made their own stuff, and I just had a huge collection just from doing my own sculpts and wanted to give them away to the community. And then once I started giving those away, that thread on ZBrush Central kind of blew up, and people started requesting them from me, and I mean, it just kind of took off from there.
You just saw the need, and you just filled the need, right?
Yeah, you always try to fill a need. But and then with a friend of mine that I worked with for quite a few years, Edric Rominger, we came up with the idea for the toolbox. And it was because people would ask me constantly, how do I preview all your brushes? There's too many of them.
Right.
So,
yeah, I got 1,000. You just select each one individually.
Yeah, people are like, I like the icons that you're giving away, but at the time I was saving those as PSDs, so normal people couldn't view PSDs on their computer just browsing through them unless you had a special icon viewer. And so then I started saving them as PNGs. As one of originally ZBrush wouldn't allow you to import PNGs as icons, but now it will. So I started saving them as that because they were just the icons that I was using. And then I sat down with Edric at lunch one day, and we literally kind of Pixar'd it and drew out on a napkin, which I still have the napkin somewhere, the idea for the toolbox, and he made it happen. I conceptualized it, did all the UI stuff, and he did all the programming for it. And it took us about 2 years to get it all ready. And I mean, it was a lot of back and forth with customers, with friends.
Yeah, I use this thing on every sculpt. Like every single sculpt, I have the XMD toolbox open. Like it's like you have my main brushes, for sculpture. But whenever I'm bringing in those fine details, or I'm bringing in, a little bit of realism, some things that would just take way too long to sculpt, and you've just got the brush all ready for it. I always use it on everything. And then whenever he came out with the toolbox, I was like, oh, thank God, dude. Everything's here. I could just zoom to, I could just type in cloth and like all this stuff comes up. And yeah, it's definitely made things a whole lot easier and funner since you brought this out. So
you pull up my screen real quick, I'll show you what the toolbox looks like.
Okay.
So basically, you can, if you're a member of XMD, you can actually log into XMD source. Well, if it'll let me pull it up. Oh, it's on top. All right, so you can log into XMD source. You can see all of the library of all the different brushes, brush sets that I've made. And you can go into your library and you can actually download them straight from the toolbox. And these will bring them straight into ZBrush. And then once you download them, you can load up the toolbox, pick any set you want, or just browse the main window. Let's see, go into terrain. And you can add them to your window over here. And if you got ZBrush open, you're pretty much, you just double click it and it'll load it in there. You just sculpt.
Bam. So you don't usually sculpt with this red wax, right? No, come on, guys. CG Legends are.
Well, we have to cancel this right now.
All right, hold on. I wasn't prepared.
I mean, I'm gonna have to leave.
You know, wax is my favorite, so I mean, I'm just gonna have to leave it at that.
Ooh.
Classic, man.
Woo. But yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
All right, so here is what I use whenever I make brushes. This is my screen. That's literally what I use.
So the green is for color key?
It's so I can green screen out the icons. Because if you use their, like if you go to brush, select icon, hold down Alt and click, it makes it really tiny, which pisses me off. So I render out whatever I'm sculpting on a sphere, and then take it in Photoshop and green screen out the green, and that works the best for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Edric's actually making me a tool now so I can save out all the new sets a lot quicker and put them in the toolbox, because right now it takes about 2 days to just do all the behind the scenes stuff to create a new brush set. There's so many steps to it.
So what are the steps of like creating a brush, like overview type stuff?
Once I actually create the brush, then I have to we have a database that all the information that you see in the toolbox, the name, what category it goes into, the icon, everything that goes in behind the scenes, even the type of brush. So I created all these hundreds of little icons inside of the toolbox by hand, and it took a long time.
Nice.
But all of these are each brush that I make is tagged automatically with one of these types, so you can filter them out if you wanted to. But all that behind the scenes takes a really long time to set up, because it was all manual, like XMLs and PHP scripting and a bunch of crap that I had to go through to do it. But now he's making me a tool to do it, so I can do it in like an hour. So that's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Can't wait for that.
Nice. So do you, I guess you don't really have to search for inspiration a lot, because you have so many requests on, hey, can you make something like this? Can you make something like that? So what's your most requested brush?
Let's see, so I don't know if y'all saw the ZBrush Summit last year, but Joe Mena mentioned XMD in it and his favorite brush. I'll actually pull it up if I can find it. So it became my most requested brush just because of his little
way to go, Joe
comment. But yeah, it's the Dig brush, which it's somewhere. Let me pretend I actually know how to use my toolbox. All right, so yeah, the Dig brush, it's pretty much digs into the surface, doesn't destroy your topology or anything. And he always would message me. He's like, I still use your Dig brush.
Like, I really appreciate it, but can you not?
Yeah,
so you've got a whole like series coming out on how to create a brush on your XMD Academy. Like,
yes, I do. I am.
What's that about?
It is going to be. I'm doing an on-demand course on how to create pretty much every single type of brush that exists and every type of setting within each of those brushes to make any brush do whatever you want to do. So, like, I mean, if you want to know the specific settings for a curve brush, I'll tell you like every single setting and what it actually does for the brush. And I mean, it's pretty much just going to go through like nano brushes, curve brushes, drag, setting up alphas correctly for ZBrush, because ZBrush is very kind of finicky about alphas. If you don't use gray bit or grayscale 16-bit PSD, it hates you. So, it's just little tips that I've figured out here and there about making brushes. So it'll be a 10-week course.
Do you have any hard surface brushes, like planar or something similar to that?
I actually do. Let me see.
I make a lot of sci-fi stuff with a lot of hard surface stuff, and I keep searching for good brushes. Keep experimenting with them.
Yeah, I have. Okay, in my Chisel 01, there's a bunch of actual chisel brushes that work great for hard surface. And they're all vector based. I have. Let's see, what is it called? I actually have so many brushes, I don't even know what I have. So there are.
I was talking to Spicer about this. Like, what if they would make like a machine learning hard surface brush that would figure out where you want hard surface stuff and how to fix angles and things?
Yeah, can you make something like that?
Sure.
Yeah.
You make it
every hard surface sculptor out of business.
I could totally do that.
You could call the brush. Is this what you meant?
Just give me when ZBrush 7.0 comes out, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, ZBrush 2025 when that comes out.
But yeah, like a brush that would help you a lot if you have like a rough initial sculpt that would just transform all those things and figure out, you know, where you want the edges and all that. That would be crazy.
Would you like a brush that plugs into your brain and just like you can just think of it too?
Yes, exactly. That's what I want.
I've actually already started that one. It's called, release me of my job duties.
Oh. I love that brush. I love that brush.
I can't wait for full release.
I can't wait to lose my job.
Well, while you're going, Mike, and getting started on your asset, we're gonna let everybody be introduced to the rest of the ZBho CG Warrior panel, and let's get to Ad. What are you doing for us, man? What are you doing over here?
I'm doing like a stylized version of like a robot Spider-Man thing, like from I'm thinking of like a sci-fi dimension, something a little bit stylized, a little bit sci-fi. I don't know where it's gonna go.
So you're gonna have this rigged with hydraulics?
No.
And the walk cycle? What's up?
Man, if you give me 1 more hour, yeah. If you give me 1 more hour.
1 more hour. This guy over here.
That's funny. You actually stole my idea. I mean, I was going to do the same thing.
Show him. Leo says, ad is best. Ad.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Oh.
There we go. There we go. So, where can people find you?
People can find me on ArtStation, and they can find the links for my social media, for my Instagram, for my Facebook, everything in there. And also, more importantly, for my marketplace on the Unreal Engine.
There we go. There we go.
I got a bunch of assets there.
What would Bob Ross do? Says that's a good start ad.
All right. That's Moses. Damn it.
Nice, nice. And now we're coming to our fresh meat. Brett Marshall Tucker. Welcome, Brett, to the ZBho Arena. For those who don't know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, let them know.
Okay.
Let them know.
All right, so I actually teach with Spicer at the University of the Incarnate Word in San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, man, keep that down, dude. Keep that down. Right. Chill out.
I teach at a school. I teach some environment art. I also freelance for Nickelodeon, and I do work on some other stuff right now that's in the works. So I can be found on ArtStation, everything, Twitter, the Facebook, everything else. It's always Brett Marshall Tucker, although on Twitter it's BMT3D.
What does that stand for? I'm just joking.
My initials. You can imagine that much. I don't know what that means. That sounds cool.
That's cool. That's cool. So, so you're mostly a substance designer, texture artist, or what's going on? What are we doing here?
Yeah. So
I think this is the first time people have seen something like this on the show.
Okay. So yeah, I kind of like doing all the environment stuff, but I've gotten really into designer lately. Just making some, getting down to the nitty gritty of what makes a game world believable, right? So making materials look nice, make sure they fit with the world. So right now I'm trying to do like a little bit of a stylized, like almost like Miles Morales style logo thing here, but I don't know. I painted this little spider in Photoshop real quick, and it might go somewhere. We'll see.
Nice, dude. Nice. Well, welcome. Hopefully you walk out with your life today. That would be good.
Really hope.
Well, we'll see how the ZBho Arena treats you. We'll see. We'll see.
We're not friendly.
Yes. And the most Mactastic person you will ever meet, Karen. What's going on, Karen?
Right now I have a alien missing a chromosome.
The jaw chromosome?
It's gonna be Gwen's.
Hey, my name's Ad, okay?
Oh, okay.
Leo says everyone's doing an amazing job.
Oh, thank you. We are. We're trying our best. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make Gwen Stacy. I actually have not seen. I know. I need to see. I know. I just have not made time to see it. But it won an Academy Award or?
Oh yeah, for animation and all that.
Best animated movie.
Okay.
Best animated movie. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I was reading this article saying that it was like the first one, non-Disney one, to win in a very long time, like years and years. That's interesting.
Okay.
It's amazing. I saw like a documentary about it, but I'm not gonna
Watch
rant
Disney
about
buy them.
Say that again?
And wait until Disney buys them.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Just swallow everything up.
buy Hulu now.
What would Bob Ross do? Says extra chromosome. Is this Gwen from Alabama? And Leo says Karen is 110% Mactastic.
Thanks, Leo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm actually from Alabama. And
Throwing shade from the chat to the arena.
Are you offended?
No, because Alabama's totally like that.
Well, it's good to have you on the show again, Karen. Hopefully you win yet again.
That's right. Thanks. Thanks, buddy.
Wait, what do you mean? Hopefully she wins.
You know, we just want to have a consistent champion. You know, someone that everybody can root for. You know.
Oh, like the Patriots.
Yeah, there you go.
I will
Like
be the arena's Tom Brady.
There you go.
Can we make sure
I will
Cameron
marry.
doesn't show up next time?
Who's gonna be my Giselle though? That's what I want to know.
Ooh.
I feel like at some point, you know,
Roger.
like when somebody wins too much, they're not allowed to compete anymore.
Oh wow.
You know,
So you're just trying to be on the show forever? Anyway, so we're going to introduce the next CG warrior of the ZBho arena, King's Letter, your favorite Spartan Slayer, Amir. What's going on?
Same stuff.
Oh, next. All right.
All right, so that's what you come to the ZBho arena with? I mean, what are you doing? Who got this guy on the show? Come here. Who got this guy on the show? Look, next time you bring people here, they're fucking entertaining and know their shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant to mute. I'm sorry. Kings, what were you saying?
I'm sculpting Nick Cage, favorite character, you know, in Spider-Verse. I'm just gonna try and do a render quickly, but
So what do you do? What do you do? Who are you?
I am King's Letter, Amir, and I'm a sculptor. I'm mostly focused on sculpting collectibles and statues and toys and shit. And yeah, and that's it. And that's what I do.
Nice, nice. So who's your favorite character of all time?
Of all time, Jesus.
Well, let me pose that question differently. Let's say Sideshows says, King's Letter, we need you right now. We need you to sculpt this character.
Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay, so Miracle Maiden. All right.
What was that Spanish one you called her? What was it that you gave her?
What was it? I don't know. I forgot.
Ah, damn it! That was the greatest one.
Yeah,
so it would definitely be Miracle Maiden.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you back in the arena, brother. Good to have you back. Let's see what you bring. All right, you got some other warriors here.
Yeah.
So watch out. All right. And finally, we have Rafael Pizente of Alpha and Omega. What is going on, Raf? Can you tell people who the hell you are, what you do, what you've been up to?
Yeah, I really do everything. But as of late, I've committed myself to finally launching my comic book series. Ron said it, Alpha and Omega. And you can actually find the first issue on Amazon for Kindle for the time being. First issue is called Alpha and Omega Beta Session Reflection. And it's only $2. And yeah, I've really just been doing that. I'm very committed to just making these series happen right now.
Nice. And so who you drawing for us? A little Gwen action over here now?
It's actually the main character, Martinez. What's his name? What's
Miles?
Yeah, Miles
Morales.
Yeah, Miles Morales.
Martinez.
Martinez.
She's racist much? Oh my god.
No, I'm doing Gwen, but I'm doing like I like the one with the headband better.
Nice.
I don't know when that one got launched, but I'm just doing that one.
Nice.
That one.
And Raf is also the lead architect in the ZBho arena, where we finally got cameras that work in this realm. So we'll be able to broadcast to you from this dimension properly. And we will have the ZBho arena set up and ready for everybody to witness.
Nice.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon. Very soon. So, thanks everybody for watching. Again, if you have any questions, please let us know in the chat. Put them in the chat. Thank you to Leo. And what would Bob Ross do? Appreciate you all watching the show. Appreciate you. So we're coming back over here to Mike. What you got going over here, Mike? What's this?
What's this terrible looking spider?
Oh, yeah? Yeah, is that what you think? You gonna turn this into a IMM brush?
Sure. Spider-Man brush.
Yeah, there you go. Spider-Verse brush.
Anywhere.
There you go. $1 million idea. You're welcome.
We get 50% of the profits, you know, since the idea came from, you know.
Yeah. 3%.
60%.
No, 3%. 3%.
Is it 3 or 50?
No, it's 3. It's 3%. We don't want to, you know, we want them to flourish so that 3% becomes
It's actually
more.
2%, but I'll give you 3.
Mm-hmm. Leo says Amir is his real father.
What?
Wow.
I don't know.
Who's real father?
I don't know, but you have a child.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And what would Bob Ross do says, we all look the same to you, Raph. Way to go, man. Way to go. Way to go.
Well done, Raph. You proud of yourself?
You proud of yourself now, bro?
Look, I'm making an effort, guys. Sorry, I was just, you know, I'm Brazilian. Don't give me shit. How much we got?
Pulling the Brazilian card again.
Oh, there we go.
And
I got that free pass.
guys, it only takes Raph to manage to insult his own, you know, people.
Oops. Oh god. Anyway, can we move on from my lack of being cultured?
No, I think we should stay here for about 20 minutes or so.
I kind of enjoy it. Can we stay?
Yeah.
It's warm in here.
Yeah, what's that guy's name? Spider Martinez or something? What would Bob Ross do? You're the best, dude.
Bob Ross, dude. What would he do?
So I read this article today. It said that famous artists aren't famous for their art; they're famous for their connections.
I saw that. That's true.
And I read it, and they did like this machine learning on all the famous artists, or general just artists in terms of creativity and all that, and skill, talent, creativity, and originality does not equal success. Networking, having a broad network of friends, gets you success.
That's disappointing, actually, to be honest, because I can only imagine.
It's true, and it's
imagine how much was through the cracks just because, you know, nobody, you know.
What do y'all think about that? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure we see it often where people are just well networked and pretty much everywhere and having a lot of opportunities, and then there's plenty that stay quiet, stay to themselves, work really hard, and never get noticed.
Yeah,
So
I have a recent example of how that actually is definitely true for me. It's a guy artist that I admired. I talked to him on ArtStation a little bit, and we've talked a little bit more, and we're friends on Facebook and stuff. And he had just left the studio I applied to, and I messaged him. I was like, dude, I applied there because I was hoping we work together sometime. And he was like, oh yeah, man, that's too bad, but I told him to hire you. I was like, okay, well, I don't really even know you at all, but just the fact that we've interacted a little bit could lead to some sort of employment opportunity in the future, right? So, I mean, obviously it's not guaranteed, but it's just a thing that's I wouldn't have, and maybe it'd be harder for me to get in that studio if I didn't have that connection, right? Just the fact that he's willing to vouch for me, just for even if it's just like a sort of passing thing, it definitely goes a long way. I mean, when you have hundreds of candidates to any job listing at all, and someone who does work there or has worked there can say, oh, that guy's a nice guy, whatever, right? Like, it definitely goes a long way because it helps them weed out people who they don't know about, and they'll focus on you a little bit more. I do wish it weren't true, but in this case, it's cool, I guess.
That's pervasive in every job, though. I mean,
yeah.
like the job I worked at, if you refer somebody that you trust and you already work there, it's like, well, he's a good worker, and if you know somebody that he said, hey, they'll do a good job, then just like, all right, let's see what this guy's all about.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
Very sure.
The thing is, like, this is actually really true. There was this guy named Dave Greco. He's a lead concept artist. He's been a lead concept artist at a bunch of studios. Right now, he's working at Artcraft on Crowfall as the lead concept artist. And he was saying that, yeah, it's good to have like really good concept, like really good skills and just be a really good artist. But then if I'm hiring someone and then one of my artists in the office comes up to me, is like, oh yeah, like hire Spicer, you know, I've seen his work and I really like him and he's really easy to get along with. And it doesn't matter if there are like 10 people in front of him that are much better than him, I would be more inclined to hire him because somebody has vouched that he's easy to work with, and that's like really important.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's more important to be easy to work with than to have skill. Actually.
If you can cooperate, then what's the point? You know?
Yeah, I hear that all the time from recruiters. Like they'd rather hire someone who they know they can shape rather than someone who won't listen to any feedback or be willing to be a team player. Because there's no trajectory for someone like that.
That's the reason I'm so unemployed. Because I know what everybody's supposed to do. You know? But yeah. I mean, I always tell my students, I'm like, you know, as much as you practice your art and your skill, you should spend an equal amount of time getting to know other people and helping people out and being either a mentor or a peer or a student. You know, if you can be all three at one time, you're in a wonderful world of creativity and learning and growing, on top of, you know, knowing the right people or at least talking and just being a human being and a friend, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I tell them all the time that you're always going to be a student, so never act like you know everything. And someone asks you a question, it's okay to not know the answer and work it out with them. But you should always be asking for feedback from people too. Like, don't be weird about it, but if you like someone's work, just be like, hey, your work's cool. If you have a second, let me get some advice, you know? And don't expect them to ever give it to you either. But there are tons of things for people who are even like working to learn at the same speed, I guess. Like so there's like a Discord for Ryan Beno. He's an environment artist at Insomniac, and he has just a Discord for like critique, and he has a mentorship program and stuff like that too. But people just like, you know, like, hey, I have this problem designer. Anybody have any ideas? And, you know, just being able to give that person a quick answer. It could be, you know, they're going to remember you for being helpful, and then you never know who that person's going to end up being, and vice versa.
Oh, yeah.
Nepotism at its best.
Hell yeah. That's the name of the game.
That's what you need. I mean, even whenever I was just had like office jobs, the only way I got one was because a friend recommended me. Or I was a temp and I just busted my ass and I was already there so that they could see, you know, that I worked hard. But yeah, 90% of the time I got a job because a friend already worked there.
Yep.
I resonate with that too. I'm only working when I'm working in my day job because my manager that used to work with me pulled me over there. If she hated my guts, she wanted to pull me.
You have 55 minutes left in the ZBho arena.
It's already been 40 minutes.
He's cheating.
Goes by fast.
Wait, how much did you say we have left?
55 minutes in the ZBho arena.
Oh, okay.
You meant 5 minutes. It's almost over.
Yeah, almost over.
Wait, this is 1.5 hours?
Yeah, 1.5 hour. Speed sculpt and drawing.
It was only an hour.
Come on, guy. But
whatever.
You know, everybody say goodbye to King's Letter. This is his first and last time being here in the ZBho arena. He did not do his research and most likely is going to fall to a sword stroke of some sort. So.
Estonia.
Oh my god.
Don't forget to save people. Already had a crash.
How does K-Mac bounce back?
She opens the quick save file. Now that ZBrush got their shit together, and it works.
Exhilarating.
Boom.
I think that's like my favorite feature of 2018 is that the recovery file actually opens.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Yeah. How many times has it crashed? And I was like, oh my god, recovery file works.
Yeah.
One time, it was like a few days ago, I was working on a commission. The powers went out, like fully. Powers went out and then came back on. And I didn't have any quick save. But then during that time, the power went out. It managed to make a recovery save. I don't know how.
Wow.
Yes. So that was like, I was like, holy shit, this actually happened?
Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta love ZBrush.
That's the brush, it is.
Ooh.
I don't love it.
Ooh.
It's a healthy fear.
That's that's only because you're afraid of it.
I am a little bit.
You think this is a joke?
This is ZBho Arena. Brat.
What's that meme with the little kid in like the tuxedo? He just
It's
looks
like, you think this is a fucking joke?
Leo's asking, where else is this being streamed? It's being streamed on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. ZBrush Hangout. Just look for ZBrush Hangout. Make sure to follow us there. Excellent question, Leo.
And on your local ABC channel.
Yeah. So, Raph, you make your own brushes for Photoshop.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right. So talk to us about that, dude. You know, maybe y'all can meld minds in this realm.
Okay. So yeah, my brushes are also with the purpose of just making the process easier. But I really try to get a lot of texture and grit out of my brushes, and I kind of like, I don't want to say I mastered it, but I definitely understand what every feature in the brush creation thing does, and which is why I can get wild brushes kind of like these right here. Just real quick, like for example, like if you look at this, right? Or click more like this one. Like you just get really nice effects, and it just shortens the process significantly when it comes to painting. And it makes people think I take forever to paint my images when it doesn't really, when it's really not the case.
Yeah, I was watching a Joe Rogan interview David Lee Roth.
Alex Jones, yeah.
Right, that one was great too. That one was great. I love that one. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But he was interviewing David Lee Roth, and he spent a lot of time over in Japan, and learned the language, and I think he spent like 5 years over there. But he used this one word. It sounded like umami, but I know that's not the word that was used. But it meant that because it's imperfect, it is perfect. Like your jeans, your favorite jeans are all like messed up and it's got holes in it. Your favorite leather jacket's all worn on the elbows, and and it's perfect for you. And whenever you were talking about those brushes, how it had the imperfections, like it's perfect for you because it's imperfect.
Exactly, yeah. And it gives it, and that's the key thing too. It makes things look more organic. And Photoshop is out of the box. It makes everything look synthetic because it's so clean and cuts.
Yeah.
Unless you yourself add in variation to it. And that can be really time consuming, but if you can get the brushes to do that for you, then, well, you're going to make the process a lot simpler and a lot funner.
So you watch the Alex Jones, Karen? Did you watch it?
I just saw the like some clips, like highlights, and
that whole thing should be a clip and a highlight, dude. Every bit. I don't know where to begin the clip or the highlight or to end it. Just watch the whole thing. It's great.
I watched some of it. I kind of like. This is gonna sound weird, but I kind of felt sad for him. Like,
no, don't feel
sad. He looked like a broken man. He sounded like a broken man.
Wow.
Not show and everything, and I'm just like, wow.
There are people out there, okay?
Mm-hmm. Now you need to get your mushrooms and your chicken bone powder, right?
Chicken bone powder.
Chicken bone powder.
Oh my god.
I love Alex Jones because, like he'll mix in like truth that he's found with stuff that he believes, right? And it goes in and out, like that society that he found, that secret society that was burning. I don't know what it was. I don't think. But anyway, they were burning something to this effigy of an owl, right? And it's all these rich, super rich people gathering in a,
I saw that one. I saw that.
And he'll mix that with, we have interdimensional vampires trying to suck the blood out of our babies, and he'll mix that, and it's like, man, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what you're showing me evidence, and then you're saying shit like that. But in between, like he said something on there like that was so ridiculous, and then he said something that made it kind of plausible, and even as ridiculous as it was, it like intuitively made sense. And and that's what I love about them. Like, but I take them for entertainment. I don't take them for like,
right.
You know,
life advice.
Yeah. This is the way life is, K-Mac.
You're not buying a male vitality bone crush, whatever. You know, I saw this clip, I think it was on Colbert, and he was trying to drink his own product, and he couldn't even, like, finish it. Like, he couldn't even drink it without making a face.
He was manned up already. He was already manned up. He couldn't take it.
Oh, God.
It's supposed to taste good. It's supposed to make you stronger.
Yeah. He was already too strong, K-Mac.
Right.
You couldn't take it. Optical Delusion is asking, what are the best resources for those trying to improve in ZBrush?
XMD source.
There you go. And again, Optical Delusion, what are the best resources for those trying to improve in ZBrush? But yeah, XMD source, get your XMD toolbox. You'll have all the brushes you need to get started. After that, I would just learn form. I mean, it depends if you're going into environment art, you're going into character art, you're going into illustration with ZBrush. You know, like, there's so many uses for it. If you're just going into character art and that type of thing, learn anatomy from someone reliable first. And practice that, because the sooner you can get through anatomy and you can get your forms blocked out and everything, then you can start having fun. And then you can start like really sculpting and putting on detail and adding straps and grenades and all this stuff on top of solid foundation. And it's just going to make it look way more cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, it actually has a course on that.
Come on, guys. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Yeah.
I know.
Get out here with that, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else have
I'm a big fan of I mean, I already know ZBrush a bit, so watching Michael Pavlovich's videos, hopefully I'm saying his name right, has really like opened my eyes up to like, oh, just because I figured out how to do it this way doesn't mean there's like 3 other better ways to do it. So like he'll go through like a technique like hard surface modeling, and then he'll have like 6 different ways to do that. But it's pretty eye-opening stuff, and his YouTube videos are free and great. He talks so fast, I love it. He talks so fast, and it's just like, you know, I rather pause a video to absorb it than have to like fast forward.
Yeah, you know, like tutorials, and then like they talk fast, but then like they have this video where they tell their fucking life story before there's like, oh yeah, the other day I wanted to sculpt this, but then I didn't know how to do it, so I went to my friend, and then my friend was like, where? I was like, get the fuck out of here, just show me what it is.
Yeah. No, hold on. I gotta tell you, this coffee that I had yesterday, it's so good.
Or you click on an article, be like, oh, top 10 most sold video games. You're like, okay, I want to click and just see 10 bullet points with top 10 sold most video games. There's like a 10-page article. You're like, bro, I just want to know the video games.
There's a good trick too. This is worth noting. YouTube can actually let you, well, most video players in the internet let you actually speed up a video. There's been instances where I'll find just an arbitrary tutorial because I'm looking for a very specific thing, and I'll get that guy that sounds like he's about to pass out, and he'll be like, and so you can actually speed it up to twice the speed. And yeah, so there you go.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
Normal.
Oh yeah, I usually listen to podcasts and especially audiobooks at like 1.75. You know, I go a little faster than other people.
Yeah.
Humble brag.
Right? I mean, you know.
It was like, I finished a book and Spicer is like, oh yeah, I finished it about 75% faster than you. Why? Because I had it on 1.75.
So I learned everything that I know from london.com, and I did the same thing. I always did the highest possible, because everybody on there talks so damn slow. It's like, I know how to, like, if I'm trying to, like, you know, brush up on some technique, I don't need to listen to this person's journal on about like the different menu options in ZBrush. Although I definitely need more help with that. But
the overly professional course where they really got to make sure they cover even like how to pull down the file menu and hit the
every single option. Like going through the different resolution gates in Maya, I'm like, okay, I get that whole idea from the one, but just move on.
It's when you're like, okay, I'm not gonna watch this whole thing. No.
I don't know, but There you go.
Yeah, Optical Delusion is asking, all right, we all get 3 choices, right? In an interdimensional fight for our souls, you get 3 choices. Vampires, Spider-Man, or Alex Jones.
Are these our allies or our enemies?
These are your champions.
I feel like Alex Jones could really take on any enemy, so yeah, they're gonna have to go with that guy.
Caveman powder. We've got chicken bone powder. All right, Karen, what's your selection? Vampires, Spider-Man, or Alex Jones?
It's probably Alex Jones because I think he would release the conspiracy theories on the vampires before they'd have a chance to rally the troops.
Discombobulate them. I like it.
Yeah.
Diversion. Manipulation. I like your style, K-Mac. I like the way you...
You can explain to them why they're vampires. There's a conspiracy about it.
Michael, Vampire, Spider-Man, or Alex Jones?
Well, did it say how many vampires or Spider-Man?
Well, there's only one Spider-Man and one Alex Jones.
But then, okay. So
It depends on if you're in the Spider-Verse.
Look, there's only one Spider-Man. Right?
I would have to choose, let's see.
Vampire, Spider-Man, or Alex Jones?
I'd probably go with Spider-Man.
Good selection. Good conservative.
Can you choose like
well-balanced selection?
But what about a Vampire Spider-Man?
That was also Alex Jones.
With Alex Jones and soul inside of it.
Or like a vampire Alex Jones that can like confuse you with conspiracy theories telepathically.
Through spider webs. Looks like we got a lot of people agreeing with us on how sucky tutorials generally are. That's good.
Until you check out XMD Academy.
Whoa, this guy over here. Whoa. Giving you the hot tips. Dropping them.
A guest that knows how to plug his shit.
Right. Finally.
Why else am I here?
What's the cut every person gets in this here, huh?
Right,
we have like a discount code, so whenever you go purchase this, just type in ZBHO. You get 1% off.
Well, you know what? I got two toolbox keys left. I wouldn't mind giving one out right now to those that are watching. All right. First thing you gotta do, you gotta go to the XMD Facebook group. You gotta join them there right now. That's the first thing you have to do. Second thing you have to do is you have to go to ZBrushhangout on Facebook and make sure you like and follow, because I'm going to check. And you better not be lying to me. All right? So if you have done those 2 things, then put in XMD Toolbox. Hashtag XMD Toolbox in the chat right now. And we will enter you in. We'll get a little RNG going. We'll see who wins. All right? One XMD Premium Lifetime Membership. Free.
It's worth quite a bit. So
how much is it worth over there? Or just a little clarification over here?
Well, currently it's $54.99.
There you go. Regularly twice that much.
Maybe it's $54. I don't know. Something like
that. All right. So you get all the brushes, you get all the updates, you get the toolbox, right? And you get to send emails to Michael Dunnam whenever you want.
That's true. You do get my private email that comes with that.
Right.
Yeah, he also sometimes reads to you at night when you're trying to sleep. He has a very soothing voice.
This is true as well. And my tutorials will put you to sleep.
Oh, no.
They are so calming, you fall asleep.
And you can speed them up.
But in digital world.
So let's get this fired up.
All right. You need to put in hashtag XMD Toolbox in the chat. Make sure you like the XMD page. Make sure you like the ZBHO page. All right. We'll get you in there. All righty. There you go. You gotta put your hashtag up in there, sister girl. All right. That's what I like to see. There we go. There we go. Let me get my little RNG up in here. Or, you know, I do have this marble game. That's pretty... No, I don't want to set that up. I don't want to set that up. We're going to do...
What is the game?
We're going to do random number generator. Right? And we'll get that. All right? We're going to give that away in a little bit. Stay tuned. We're going to get to it. I promise you. I promise you. You have 38 minutes left in the arena. All right, everybody. If you're watching, please vote at the end of the stream who wins. All right. We've got Ad on his way to Spider Mech Glory. We have Brett on the Substance Designer Excellence. Already got your PS4 movie quality texture ready to go. I mean, this is what happens at the ZBho Arena. All right, this is what happens. Okay, it's real quick. Not a difficult thing. And then we've got K-Mac over here. All right, we've got King's Letter ready to go. Look, already masking and extracting. I mean, I don't know what else you want in your CG show, people.
What else do you want?
And we got Michael over here kicking ass, making that spider, looking directly at you in your soul. Where else do you get to see that? Nowhere. ZBho Arena.
If my
Raph.
computer wasn't running really slow right now, I'd be done.
See?
Yeah.
Raph over here kicking ass in the 2D realm. All right? So make sure you stick around. We're going to be giving away that XMD toolbox very soon. Very soon. See what's going on. So, what are some good resources for learning character design, like fashion, composition, something that relates to designing a interesting character or situation to look at? Where do y'all get your best like resources to inspire or to take you to the next level?
Believe it or not, graphic design actually did help a lot.
FCD school all the way, bro.
Like graphic design teaches you just about spacing, you know, shapes and positioning. I feel like if you can make a really great logo, to translate that into a good design isn't too far-fetched. You just obviously got to make sure you have function, and that just kind of goes back to anatomy and just understanding like whatever you're inventing, right? But yeah, no, that did it for me actually.
I'd say for me, like I spent a lot of years. I learned from Ryan Kingsland. I learned from Scott Patton from Legacy Effects back in the day. He really showed me like, oh, I could do that with ZBrush. I was like, oh, okay. All right, well then let's go. And then spend a lot of years just getting used to ZBrush and sculpting overall. And then what took it to the next level and really made me like I guess financially viable to invest in to get a project done was Scott Eaton and his anatomy courses. Like that was probably the greatest like plateau skipper I've ever had. Like I went from like sculpting okay faces or passable faces to going like one step above that, and I'm obviously still continuing. But yeah, I love the way he taught, and it just opened up a lot of doors for me, especially if you're going into the character art. Drawing or painting or sculpting, he's definitely where I would go.
And then who did you meet? There's another one you didn't mention, right, Ron? There's another one you didn't mention.
Is it?
Is it Raph?
Scott Eaton.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Go ahead.
I did a lot of concepting after getting inspired from FCD school videos.
Bang Zoo.
Yeah, Feng Zhu design all the way. He covers everything from composition to concepts to everything. It's amazing.
I hear that too. I remember watching many of his videos back in the day. I think I watched almost all of his free videos actually, way back in the day.
Yeah, his free videos is all you actually need. You just need to practice if you can stay motivated. Because like I started up ZBrush, I fiddled around in it a little bit, and then I was like, man, I love this program, but my concepting skills sucked. So then for a couple of years, I was just trying to level up my concepting.
Nice. No, I actually meant to ask you this the other day, Ron. No, I had to learn ZBrush on my own, and it seems to me like you kind of had to learn this stuff on your own too, right? Like what brought you to the 3D world?
What brought me to the 3D world would be Terminator 2.
You were inspired?
Yeah, whenever he rose up from the floor and like took shape and then stabbed the guy in the face, I was like, I want to learn how to do that.
I want to be that guy.
I want to be in charge of doing that. And so
all the 3D stuff to stab somebody in the face.
What was that?
So you didn't have to go through all the 3D stuff to stab somebody in the face.
Yeah, there's a shorter way of doing that. Yeah. But yeah, I saw that and it just like all the stuff in there just like totally blew me away visually. Stuff I'd never, up to that point I'd never seen before. And I knew it was all computer generated. My father was heavily into computers. I've always been around computers, so that hurdle of getting used to the interface wasn't going to take that long. But at the time, the computers, you needed like 4 refrigerator-sized computers to do this stuff, and now you can do it on a laptop, right? So it took like 5-6 years up until I could get a PC that could handle it. But as soon as I could, I was introduced to Maya, box model to Trollhead, and that sucked. And then I was like, I don't think I want. No, I was like, I don't think I want to do CG. If this is what it is, I need something faster. And then someone's like, oh, well, here's ZBrush. I was like, and that was it.
Nice. When did you actually get ZBrush, the first one?
2.5 going to 3.
I think like 3 or 4 was that when I got it. What was that like, dude?
That was whenever they introduced subtools. So I literally spent like 3 weeks in 2.5 and they went to 3. Like in a matter of weeks. So I didn't have to go through the hassle of 2.5. Yeah, because I don't think they had subtools. Yeah.
I started from 4 or 7.
Nice.
Shit.
Nice. And what about you, Brett? Anywhere you go for inspiration to learn from, all that type of stuff?
Yeah, so I was gonna say I'm not a character artist, but whenever I was in college, I did like figurative sculpture and ceramic. And I'd always look at paintings for influence. So one of my favorite artists, also art director at 2K, Scott Sinclair. He does the album art for Hot Water Music, my favorite bands. But he's a really awesome, like stylized, figurative painter. But he also does some like really cool set stuff as well. So even though I transitioned to environment stuff, I still kept looking at what he made and kind of how he, simplified environments and that kind of stuff. So I think looking at paintings and looking at like fine art. To me, I couldn't imagine not doing that, but I also went to art school, like fine art school. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, go see art, go to galleries, go to theater productions and stuff like that. Just be in it.
Nice.
So, what do you look for in textures in terms of like, hey, that's a good texture?
So something I'm not doing right now. A lot of believability in color. I'm just doing flat colors right now, but showing age. The roughness channel is like where all the cool stuff happens. So I'm trying to start building up something right now to make this look a little bit less just flat, right? Nice edge wear, got the good PBR values will always look right no matter what you do. So try to get those down, and then you can kind of play in that space a bit. But the roughness channel, if it's got a cool roughness channel, it's usually always can save the other channels. It can make it look cool as long as it has a nice shininess to it, right in the right spots.
Right. So you're able to like paint in and out stuff, or is it mostly like procedural?
Yeah, so this is a procedural, but in Painter, I will Substance Painter, I always make a separate channel for each material just for the roughness, and just go in and refine. I do a ton of masking and like smart mask. So generating a curvature map and a position and world space normals, all that stuff, and using that like baked data to generate all this like believable edgeware, and then going in and refining it. And I like to spend a lot of time just working on the masking in Painter.
So you usually just use like alphas to create all this? No, there's not really any 3D element to this asset, right? Like it's mostly images that are compiled?
Yeah, so this one, this software, for those of you who are not familiar, I'll change my screen to the node thing as soon as it lets me drag my windows away. So it's actually generates bitmaps from tons of different nodes. So for example, this stitching right here, I have all these little gradient squares, and they brought in my painted Spider-Man logo from Photoshop as a bitmap for the base thing, and kind of doing some different stuff like beveling it, leveling it out, blurring it a bit. So it's kind of like a node-based Photoshop, pretty much, but it's all bitmaps, yeah. So there's not really a way to bring in like height grabs. I guess you could sculpt something in ZBrush though. I know Naughty Dog does that. They'll sculpt materials and bring them in and use it as a height map or the normals to build off of.
Right.
Which is pretty fun. I did that one time. I did art test for them first time trying to sculpt the material. I'm like, damn, it's really hard to sculpt tree bark correctly.
Oh, just talk to Matt, dude. He'll get you in, dude.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, Tovar, what's up, dude?
yeah. I don't know.
Actually, I have a question for Michael. Sorry, not Matt. So you know how people have like I got the lifetime membership, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the times I lose them, so I keep downloading them. I'm sure I downloaded a bajillion times. Do you get a notification every time somebody re-downloads something?
No, not for re-downloading, as long as you don't keep buying it over and over, which you're more than welcome to do. But no, not for downloading. Do you have if you have the toolbox, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't have the toolbox. I didn't even know about it until now. So.
Oh man, that's.
Well, you should definitely download it. You can download all the brushes within it, and you'll even get notified whenever I put out new ones automatically.
I your emails about new brushes.
Oh yeah, my millions of emails.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, God damn it,
I got one today.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, it's because y'all haven't bought Spicer's course yet.
Oh, come on.
That's why you keep getting that.
Just stop over there, guy. Come on.
I see him.
The one about sculpting collectibles?
Well,
yeah, it's actually it's taught by a guy that he seems to know what he's doing. So
I'm a really good actor. I'm a better actor than an artist.
He's pretty good at pretending knows what he's talking about. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got me fooled.
So Optical Delusion is asking, what is your favorite kind of spider?
I'm in Australia. What isn't our favorite kind of spider?
The one that doesn't kill you, probably, which is like one of them.
Yeah, pretty much. That sums it up. There's like one.
Don't they all kill you? Doesn't everything kill you in Australia?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, they have things that want to kill you, but they can't. But don't get them wrong. They want to kill you.
Like what, Mel Gibson?
That's why we kicked him out. We're like, in heaven. He's more dangerous than a whole bunch of spiders in one room.
You have 24 minutes left in the ZBho arena.
I'm going to need about another hour. Sorry.
Better use that interdimensional travel and get you some more time, brother.
Alright. How about no, never mind.
But yeah, you better watch yourself.
Yeah. You better be careful what you say on.
Robert Zamber is like, look at this guy in 3D coat. I know, right? Hey, Robert, look at this guy over here.
This fucking guy, dude.
Look at this fucking guy. Look at him. Hey, don't get it twisted. That'll blow your mind, right? All right,
How
guys.
to do it.
Time we got left?
We have 23 minutes. All right, guys. I'm going to give away that XMD Toolbox Lifetime Premium Platinum Diamond Silver package combined with Ethereal Mist. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give it to you. All right. So y'all choose. Well, we're going to, let's see. Put in hashtag XMD Toolbox. I'm going to give you a number. All right. And then we're going to RNG this shit. All right. Hashtag XMD Toolbox in the chat right now. Let's go with this. Let's go over here. This XMD source. Over here. Okay, we're going with this Lifetime over here. Access free products, updates via email. I hope you like emails. XMD Toolbox plugin for ZBrush. All premium products, all subscription-only products. Access to the private XMD Facebook group.
Nice.
All right.
It's very private.
Very
You guys
private.
doing that?
All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We're gonna give it 10 more seconds, and then we're gonna RNG this shit. 10, 9, 8, 7. Hashtag XMD Toolbox in the chat. 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, so we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. All right, we got the first random number generator. All right, it's gonna be 1 through 8. All right, and we're gonna press this 3 times to see, make sure you can see it. I did this last time; it wasn't even on screen. Let's see. There we go. All right, we're gonna press this 3 times. 1 through 8. First time. Second time. And for the third, number 2. Leo David, send me a message on Facebook. I will hook you up with your XMD Lifetime subscription. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congrats. God damn.
Alrighty, guys. We have 20 minutes left in the ZBho Arena.
Damn it.
Gosh damn darn it.
Brett?
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show, brother.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for not forcing me to use ZBrush.
Oh, yeah, dude. You know, I'm here to help you blossom. You know, I'm not here to restrict you.
I've actually been using ZBrush all day, so a break is good.
Oh, good. Raph coming in with that action pose.
Nice.
Like, look at this floor right here.
Very nice.
And kicking some ass in 3D Coat, showing them people. Still viable product. People still use it to effect.
Yeah, dude.
I've never seen the texturing in that actually in action before. Wow.
I'm gonna give you my link to my marketplace then.
Ooh.
If you want, I can also show you the sales reports, but you know, I don't want you to get jealous.
Y'all watch out. K-Mac over here silently about to kick some ass right over here. He's already got her render passes. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, how long is she going to spend on kicking y'all's ass with the final touches? How long is it? 19 minutes of K-Mac and Photoshop. Good luck. Good luck. Look at Kingsletter
19
busting
minutes.
out that noir. Looking good, brother.
Oh, shit.
You should do collectibles and shit. And look at Mike. Look at Mike webbing spider staring into your soul.
Hell no, Mike is gonna win, right?
He's a contender.
If I win,
We're all
you need
great
to rethink
people.
your show.
No,
Mike was about to give something away, and he's like, "Settle down, man. Settle down."
Yeah.
He was like, "If I win, everybody gets something." And it's like, no. His brain was like, "Stop."
You get a car. You get a car.
I always love the last 5 minutes of the show where I see people sweating. See people just
Panic.
just grasping on anything. Oh, this looks cool. I just love it. I love it.
At that point.
Ah.
Just realized my iRay's not working in designer since I'm opening a marmoset now.
Ooh, he's showing you a marmoset. I don't even know. If you're not following or subscribed to the channel, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's like... Does anybody have any advice for some up and coming rascals trying to get up in this business? Any advice?
Spend more time working on art rather than playing video games.
Ooh, I know he didn't. Oh my god.
But those students are like, "Play Apex a lot." I'm like, I played Apex half an hour in the last 2 weeks because I don't have time.
That's
Like
why
you
I
guys
like
want to
Magic
actually.
the Gathering. Because you can just literally, you can only play it for half an hour, then you're just like, okay, I got enough games, and boom, done. Or 15 minutes, that's it.
I could just not do it.
Ooh.
You do need the breather, though. Like yesterday, I was sculpting so much. I wanted to do something for myself, and I just couldn't. I literally could not do it because I was.
I don't know. I just relax whenever I'm becoming the best. I don't know. I don't need games.
Like, I mean, read a book, it doesn't, whatever.
No, I got this course that I'm doing called by Spicer, and it will get you to the best straight away. You don't even have to try. You just watch it, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm the best now."
That's it. You don't even need to do any work.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it. Literally done like that.
Damn.
Hey, get on that shit.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of like the Matrix.
It's kind of like, if you're not doing it, here's how you get a job in a studio. Let me put it this way. You go to a studio, they'll be like, "Have you done the course by Spicer on XMD?" And you'll be like, "No, there you go, you didn't get the job."
That's it. You're out. Do you have your certificate? Do you have your XMD certificate?
Yeah, that's it. If you don't get that certificate, you won't get a job. The end. You think Sideshow is going to hire you? No. And I was there last week.
Right? He didn't have his certificate.
I didn't have a certificate. I didn't get a job.
Just letting you know. The fact.
You all laughing. You think this is a fucking joke?
Whoa, I love the aggression of the Spartan Slayer. The Spartan Slayer brings the heat. Let's see. How much time do the CG Warriors have left? 14 minutes, 30 seconds in the ZBho arena.
Oh, I thought we only had 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like you said 20 minutes like an hour ago. What's happening?
Don't.
Space-time continuum.
Don't poke the dragon, man.
Let's pull that, XMD fabric brushes, put some texture on this.
Yeah. Do you have a
When
fabric
I'm
of space
feeling
and
down-
time brush?
This is what I do. When I'm feeling down, I grab my XMD fabric brush and start using it.
Mhm.
You could calm down as well. Now, it's just try and fucking find this thing.
Well, if you're using the toolbox, you can find it.
And then this cutscene to me using the toolbox with a smile on my face.
Drag now. You get not only $1 $2, but
$2 for the price of one.
only $19.99.
Only $19.99.
Oh man.
For only $19.99, you could not suck either.
Damn, look at this aliasing. I'm a joke.
My life is a lie. Look at this anti-aliasing.
Can't see it from as much from back here, so it's okay.
What's that thing in games where you can choose like the different anti-aliases?
Anti-aliases.
Yeah.
But there's like specific types, dude. That I don't even know what the fuck they mean.
Oh, like FSAA times 2.
I've never understood what they meant.
That's that was something when I started getting into game art, I started understanding that stuff a little bit more, and I'm like, why the hell do they show those words to the player? They have no idea what those mean. Like, just tell them like good anti-aliasing, bad, like cheaper, like just like name it something else so that people can absorb, like sort of understand.
This is what I do. So
doing.
when I play games, and when I want to max everything out, I'll go to anti-aliasing, and I'll go to the one at the very bottom. All right, because generally that means it's the strongest one.
Yeah, that's true.
That's weird. Like SSA 16X. Okay.
For all them graphics nerds.
What's that? A rock and roll movie? It's British. Like the guy is like trying to like convince the other one that his amp is better. Yeah, but this goes up to 11. Like that shit.
Oh, Spinal Tap.
Oh, Spinal Tap. Yeah.
It's Spinal Tap.
Theoretically, I should know what they mean because I do a lot of game stuff, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I just know that certain ones work better for Unreal when I'm trying to make them look nice, but I don't really know why I'm picking that. It just like seems to look good at the time, so whatever.
Pretty much. That's all the proof you need, really.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much how you do lighting in games. It's like, does it look good? Cool. Is it correct? I don't know, but it looks fine.
I mean that's what it is, right?
Exactly.
That's ILM's model. Like the guy says, like if it looks right, it's right. It's like, oh, well, I mean that's really it.
Yeah.
Michael, are you planning making buttons brush, like jacket buttons and shit?
I can do that for you.
Ooh, yeah.
Actually, I am doing a leather and cloth set right now that is taking forever because I keep adding crap to it, and you just gave me another idea to add to it, so
Awesome.
it's just going to take even longer.
Way to go.
One of those hundreds of emails you send every week, and I'll make sure I purchase it.
Yeah. You must be on the one that I don't send out as much, because pretty sure I send more than 100 a week.
Yeah. You have 10 minutes left in the ZBho arena. So you better stop flapping your gums and get to work. All right?
It's a good time to ask you guys, like, how often do you guys get stuck in the trying to perfect it mode, right? Because I had that with my book. Like every time I reviewed it, I was like, oh, I could make that a little bit better. I could just make that a little, like, you guys ever get caught in that trap of like, it's never good enough, and you gotta force yourself to stop fixing
Every
it?
time.
What's that?
Every time.
Every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either that or just quit working on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't know when to quit, but when it's good enough, I guess. Whenever I think the thing that we always said in like art school is like, if no one else can see that you changed something, it's done. Or if you can't tell, so if you're like refining something, I guess on a render, like if you're doing Control Z and Shift Control Z back and forth and trying to see the difference and you can't really tell, it's already done, right? So stop.
The problem is that you're looking for the difference because you're the artist, and you're gonna see more than a lot of people will see. They're like 90% of the people.
There's also that too, yeah. Like I showed my book to my wife. She's like, "Oh, can you see the millimeters of imperfection here?" She's like, "What? Huh?" Like it looks the same. It's just like,
it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Pretty much. She's like, "You need to chill." I was like, "All right."
Whenever I work with texture artists, I always tell them, dude, like, man, don't go too deep with the details. You don't need that detail. No one's gonna see, the difference between 4K and 1K if you see the object 0.2 seconds when passing by it. Come on. Come on, guy.
Yeah, especially in collectibles, you gotta have sense of scale, because you might be putting in all these like super fine details that will just never, ever be seen, and you're just wasting time, and you could be spending it on locking your forms down better, you know.
Right.
But even for like comic book artists, like, you know, going in there and putting in the tiniest little dots, it's like, you know.
Oh yeah, no,
no one's gonna see that.
And that's why it's really good for us to just stay zoomed out. That's one of the things that, like Anthony Jones, one of the best concept artists out there, he says he never zooms in, period, because it doesn't matter. Like, you're literally going to be the only one to ever zoom in anyway. So don't do that.
It's true.
Totally cool. Totally great.
Yeah.
As I'm saying, dude, I'm
I'm zoomed in on this eye right now, you know.
I was like, oh, yeah, I should do
it.
K-Mac taking it to outer space on y'all.
I'm going with the alien theme here.
There you go.
Getting weird. It's getting weird.
There's a little echo going on there, all right?
You have 7 minutes left in the ZBO arena.
Yeah.
A question for you, character artists. How often do you even worry about like texture, like budgets and draw calls and that kind of stuff? Like, do you ever consider that kind of stuff?
Depends what kind of texture artist. What kind of character artist you are. Because if you're just a concept artist, then it's not your problem.
Right.
But if you do everything, like me, yeah, I got to think about everything. Like, even when I'm doing the character, I'm thinking, okay, design-wise, I'm trying to cut back on, you know, asymmetry in certain places, or I'm trying to think about how I can overlap some UVs and stuff like that.
Right.
Constantly.
So at my work, all the shaders, like for a character, if it's an accessory or a head or something, everything's kind of preset, predetermined, locked in. Like, you could get in there and change it, which I've done before, but they kind of proofed it so that you're not putting in your 8K texture and slowing down the game. So
yeah.
What's a draw call?
So like, now I'm not a technical person, so from what I understand, it's just like how many times the engine is pinging back to embedded resources. So like how many textures there are in the scene. Like, cutting down on textures by doing tiling stuff is going to have fewer instances of the engine trying to ping back to your memory. Or
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Okay. So like, you can literally have better performance if you have 4K texture than 4 1K textures, you know?
Oh, once. Okay.
Yeah. Because like 1 is only 1 draw call, and all the other 4 is just like
right. But it's also to do with the file size, from what I understand. I've never actually worked in the studio, so I don't know how actually important this is. But just being aware that 4K texture it's actually 16 1K textures, right? Because it's a tile twice from the same size.
But so it's one draw call.
But it's one draw call, yeah. So I always wonder how much that actually is taken into account, like the size of the file, because I guess once it's already been zipped up, it's kind of already there, right? So
it depends on what video card you have. This is where video cards come in, and video card memories come in.
Okay, yeah. So
if you have like a very good video card memory budget, like if you have a video card with 11 gigs of memory, you're fine. You're good. If you have less, then a lot of games also have alternatives. So for each model, they also have 1K maps instead of 4K. So they're just gonna load those up.
There's LODs too, right? Depending how far away shit is.
Yeah.
The LODs are just basically polygons. They don't really matter that much anymore because video cards are really, really good at rendering a lot of polygons now.
Yeah. Actually, I was reading this article, I think it was on 80 level, about a guy who was arguing that it's actually cheaper to fully model grass than to have the alpha channel, because alpha is like, it's really taxing because it has to render the entire thing in and then clip away and then render the edge and everything and the anti-aliasing and all that stuff. And the mipping on the alpha is also a second level of mipping, I guess. So polygonal, I mean, for grass at least, I think if it was like a tree, obviously it's cheaper to have a alpha plane branch. But if it's like a 4 triangle grass blade, it's way cheaper than having like a a big texture with a bunch of alpha on it.
Sure, that's interesting. It probably looks, and polygonal stuff usually looks better anyway.
Yeah, it's easier I think it's easier to do like deformation on character input too. I think it's because it has you can actually vertex paint it. I like that technical stuff, but I need to learn more about it.
You have 3 minutes left in the ZBho arena.
There's some games now that are like hair is geometry and not even alpha cards. Like in Civ, the latest Civilization, the leaders have their hair is not alpha; it's actual geometry. It's pretty crazy, and that runs on the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. So.
The latest Resident Evil game and the remake and Devil May Cry 5, and just other games similar to it, just they look so crazy real now, and especially hair and stuff. It's just like, whoa, dude, we've come so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of stuff, like I think about lighting in games and how that's tricky right now, but Unreal 4.22 supports real-time ray tracing. Of course, it's still far away, but the fact that it's starting to be supported means pretty soon all the weird stuff we do to get lighting correct is going to be obsolete.
Yeah,
you gotta stay current.
Nice.
2-minute warning.
I always try to tell students, like, I'm teaching this right now, but don't assume it's always correct, because it's probably not going to be in like a year.
Right.
Photoshop pros.
Hey, at least you're telling them, that's good. That's good. Like most people, like in universities in general, right? They teach them obsolete information, and they never tell them.
Yeah.
And that's real jobs, like I don't know, police stuff and lawyer stuff. I don't know what real jobs are.
I went to my bank the other day to talk about an auto loan, and they were running on Windows XP still, and I was like, Bank of America. I'm like, damn, you guys have a lot of money, and you're using XP still.
You poor bastards.
Because they don't want to hire people to rework their systems at all, so they just rather stay with what they already have, even though it's broken.
It's not like they're doing any rendering or subdivision.
So that didn't save me from having to sit there for 10 minutes while their system was trying to ping back to their server.
Yeah, that's the reason I always buy my Ferraris cash. 50 seconds left. 50 seconds left.
50 seconds? Pff, man, I can make a game out of this.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Making a plane look interesting is really hard to do.
Should have put it on a sphere.
Yeah, it doesn't tile well. I just tried on the sphere. It stretches too much. This is a nice evenly cut swatch out of his suit, is what it is.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And put those pins and Mises down. All right, people. So, as usual, you and the audience decide who is the champion tonight. We have Ad over here with the Spider Mech. We have Brett with the Spider-Man texture. We've got Karen with Spider-Gwen. We've got Kingsletter with the Noir Spider-Man. We've got our esteemed, special, highly important VIP guest, Michael Dunnam, with his Spider Image. And we've got Raph, Spider-Gwen in action. You let us know who it is in the chat, and they shall leave with their lives tonight. Mike, thank you so much for being on the chat. I've used your brushes forever. I've used your XMD toolbox ever since it came out. All your brushes are super helpful, and thank you for all the work that you put into it. Thank you for sharing the information that you're going to have on XMD Academy. If there's anything you'd like to say to the audience or your fellow CG warriors, you may speak now.
Thank you very much for having me. This was fun for me to get my ass kicked. So, yeah, man, I think definitely just check out XMD Source, and the more people that sign up, the more we can make for it. And XMD Academy especially, we're launching the first set of courses in, what, 3 days? Yeah, so there's still a few spots open for Spicer and Gary Lewis's courses. Spicer's got collectible character creation, and Gary Lewis is doing rendering through several different means. There's still a couple spots left, so jump on in and grab them.
Alrighty, and you know the drill. Let them know who you are, where they can find you. Super quick.
You can find me on ArtStation under the name Adrian M. And from there, you can pretty much find all my other sources, especially my Unreal Engine Marketplace source. So, yeah. Just
Brett, let them know who you are, where they can find you.
Yes, my name is Brett Marshall Tugger. Relevant to the Marshall Tugger band, of course. You can find me on ArtStation under that full name, and pretty much everything else under the same name.
K-Mac.
You can find me under Karen McCarthy. I think I'm the first Karen when you type it in an ArtStation. That's easier. Yep.
King's Letter.
You can find me under King's Letter in ArtStation and Instagram. That's mostly what I use. So just one word, King's Letter.
Raph.
You can find me in Instagram predominantly. My handle there is Rafa, R-A-F-A _digital_art.
There you go, people. And it seems like tonight's winner, who gets to escape with their entire body intact, is Ad Lazy with his spider mech.
Finally.
Nice.
Finally.
Congratulations.
He got Karen.
Ooh, wow. He's getting real violent. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Every true epic hero story, you got it. There's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
I gotta. Well, I was gonna say you're a good villain. I was just gonna say this. I'm gonna rise, so
Yeah.
I'm just messing. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. My name is Spicer McLeroy. You can find me under Spicer CG at Instagram. You can find me under Spicer CG under Facebook. Those are the best places to start. I am teaching a course for character creation for collectibles over at the XMD Academy. Make sure you bring your best, because you're going to fucking need it in my workshop. All right? Don't get it twisted. All right?
Great.
Thank you, Michael, very much for being on the show. Thank you, CG Warriors. We will take parts of your body as tribute for your loss after the show. When we come back, we're going to be coming back with a force. So I suggest you hit that subscribe. I suggest you hit that follow. I suggest you hit that share button. And everybody say good night.
Good night.
Good night.